Hello, and welcome to my new moon tarot card reading for December 2020. Can you believe it? We have made it to the end of this year. This is the last new moon Zen card reading I'm going to be doing in 2020. That's so awesome. It has been such a year, and as we get closer to the end of it, I can feel, I was describing it in this morning's meditation, our group meditation call. It's like we're all being squeezed and we're getting to the end of 2020 and we're right at the edge of the birth canal, and it's like whoosh, we're about to come out into 2021 and all this beautiful energy that is waiting for us. So I come here today with my humble offerings of what I feel, what I sense is shifting and what is possible for us in this next lunar cycle. We have a new moon tomorrow. I'm recording this on Sunday, December 13th. Tomorrow, new moon, solar eclipse in Sagittarius. There is a powerhouse of energy that is going to be propelling us forward towards Thursday, when we have Saturn, Jupiter. I think it's Saturn. Shoot, I should have checked that. I don't remember. One of them. I think it's Saturn. I don't know. One of them is moving into Aquarius first on Thursday. And then on Monday of next week, we have the conjunction Jupiter and Saturn at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And that is when, in my opinion, like fireworks are going to go off energetically. We are going to have just the most magical momentum underneath us as we move towards 2021. So in honor of Sagittarius, many of my Sagittarius friends are fun, party, traveling, gypsy, awesome people. And so in honor of them, I have my new background. What do you think? This is from my friend Lisa. It's called Flow. It feels perfect, so perfect for where we are. And I didn't even know I put on my purple shirt, and then there's purple in the background. So I feel like everything is already just starting to coordinate. I am also playing music really to ground myself and how much energy I feel moving through us and or through me, and then to ground the energy that's coming in through this card reading. So the music is coming from my speaker over there, which is why I looked that direction. It's called Spores, an album by East Forest, and I'll put the link to that in the description. So my intention is that the music is going to really help like settle the information that we're receiving and allow us to really embody it, to bring it all the way down and in, so that as we move through the next month, it's in a really grounded, centered way as we cross the threshold into 2021. I know the next time I do a new moon card reading in this space, it's going to be January, and I will almost be 50. Like, how cool is that? So much goodness is happening. All right, my notes from last time. Our 3 cards that I pull are the collective now, what's happening for all of us as a general humanity. The individual now, how do we bring that down to the individual level? What does it mean for us? And then the highest possibilities. How do we move through the next lunar cycle with the highest abilities of integrating all that's coming through? So last month we had the Lovers, which was all about compassion as our collective now. Individual now is possibilities. If you remember the eagle that was flying above the landscape, really looking down to see what's the one place that we want to laser in and focus on going. And then the highest possibility was the morality card. It was the woman who was all like tied up in a box, and it was about judgment and trying to make everything just go the way we want it to go, and having these rigid ideas of good and bad and right and wrong, and how all of that just needs to be released. And when we drop from the mind into the heart, then we connect. And then the wisdom from our guides, it was the judgment card. It's number 20 card, let go of that. And then number 49, the soul retrieval. And if you remember, I had this whole thing about I don't really believe that we ever lose parts of our soul, that we're actually always connected to the infinite aspects of ourselves. And it's just, how do we start to embody that? How do we remember that and then walk in that fullness of who we are? All right, that was last month. Let's get to December. So I've shuffled all the cards. I'm using my Osho Zen deck for the first 3 cards, and then I will pull from the other two decks that I have here. I've already shuffled everything, but it just feels like I have to like be legitimately shuffling, you know, in front of you, so you know like this is the actual card and there's no, I guess this is part of what's happening. I was just reading something to my daughter about Sagittarius versus Gemini and how we're on this axis with the new moon and the total solar eclipse tomorrow. We're on this Sagittarius Gemini axis, and how it's all about truth being revealed and making sure that there's no false pretense and, you know, really just being in integrity. So I guess that's why I'm doing this. All right, we're going to do one more break, and then I'm going to take the top card and the second card and the third card for collective now, individual now, and highest possibility. So collective now. I swear we just had this card, didn't we? We did in October. This was the collective now in October, and we're getting the same card. Shit. Like, are we still working on this? Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. You know what's so funny is right before this started, I remember thinking, like, it doesn't even matter if I get the same cards every time. The energy is always different. And so every video, there's always going to be new information. And the cards are just like a prop. They're just like the thing that gives you something to look at while I'm talking about whatever the energy is. So I think it's funny. The first card we get is the one we just had recently. Individual now, oh, beyond illusion. That's so good, beyond illusion. And then the highest possibilities for the next lunar cycle, ordinariness. Isn't that amazing? Such good cards. And also I keep thinking there's like so many other good cards. Have we not had? I guess we haven't had ordinariness. Okay. All right, so let's talk about these, my friends, and see what there is to know. Collective now. All right, take a look if you have not seen this card before. See what jumps out at you first. So do you see the projection first? Do you see the actual human face first? Are you looking at the male or the female? Are you looking at the divide between the two of them? Are you looking at the bottom where their heart chakras, their shoulders actually are closer together than their faces? Like there's less of a divide here. It's further apart up here at the mind. Can you see that? And then what I noticed too is how this almost wants to like slide underneath here. See the projected chin and how it almost looks like it becomes like angled in at the throat. And then this, I haven't noticed this before. It looks like she's smiling in the projection with these big eyelashes. Do you see how big her eyelashes are here? And behind that, look, it's like she's kind of sad or serious. She's serious. And she's looking like right at him. Like even the projection, it looks like he's not quite looking at her, but behind, they're looking right at each other. And then how there's no words. Do you see that? I mean, she's kind of smiling, but it doesn't really look like either of them are saying anything. There's all this stuff happening here with no words. So what does that mean for the collective now? You know, I think the last time I talked about it, which would have been October. So what was happening in October? October, we were getting ready for elections. There was a lot of projection about political views here in the United States, a lot of picking party lines and then standing behind them and saying how the other one is wrong and we're right. And, you know, a lot of old judgments, I feel like, that were coming up for us to look at. This time, when I see this card now, what I feel is more like I'm going to try to put this into words. Here's our humanness, the human that has this face that's kind of sticking into the screen. You can't even see the human body out over here. It's like we're kind of like in this screen right now. It's like I'm sticking my head into the screen so you can see me. And then this projection, this energy goes out in front of the human that bumps up against the projected energy from this human and they're not quite touching, but they're right up against each other's faces. Even though it looks like the human, like what I feel is 6 foot distance right here from human to human, 6 feet between them. But the energy is going out in front of the 6 feet. The energy is like bumping up against the other person's energy. So really, how much distance is there between these two humans when you see how their auric field, their energetic field, goes out in front of them? How much space actually exists? If this nose to nose would be 6 feet, just as an example, this distance between them is probably only 1 feet, 1.5 feet. And then the rest is this energy field that's coming right up against the other person's energy field. As I lean back, as I pull back my energy just a little bit. I was really up in your face there, wasn't I? I feel like this, how do I say it again? 2020 has been teaching us about this idea that yes, we are humans, but we have this energy that's constantly playing and dancing and touching up against all these other people's energies. Our energy is constantly doing like what my hand is doing. It's just sending all these like messages and thoughts and feelings and stuff, right? Constantly. And even if I have this stillness and this look of like everything, I got it all together, everything's cool, we're cool. Look at all the stuff that's actually happening between the two people. And I think masks have illuminated the eyes. So it's like we're paying more attention to each other's eyes. And I feel like because we can't read someone's lips, or we'll do this, I should have brought my mask. Because we can't read someone's lips or see what's happening behind here, or read, like, are they smiling? Are they angry? Are they what? We've had to look at other stuff. We've had to expand our ability to sense what's the energy that person is sending to me. Are they projecting anger, resentment, fear? Are they relaxed and comfortable? We've started looking at a lot more that's going on here, not so much the human that's standing in front of us. 2020 has given us an opportunity to really expand our intuition and our abilities to trust that knowing, that judgment inside of what's actually happening. So we could take it as, well, there's so many things about projection. You could say this woman's smiling, so she's laughing at this guy, even though she looks all serious here. She's mocking him, she's making fun of him. Or you could say she wants to like connect with him and have this relationship with him. And there's this whole other dialogue that's happening, even though they're just looking at each other. I think, and I think I feel, I feel like energy is, it's like the music, like vibration, sounds, frequency. It connects us to people. And even if we've never met somebody, if the soul, the auric field is going out and bumping into the other one, and we're starting to go, oh, I think I know them. I think I feel them. I think I want to connect with them. Not even in a romantic or sexual way, just in a, like, who are you? Who are you? And how do I get to know you more? And why do I feel like this? The frequencies are starting to draw us together. There was a great interview. I've talked about this interview so much in the last week with Dr. Zach Bush and Aubrey Marcus. You can Google it or YouTube it. And right at the beginning, Zach Bush says, there has never been a more powerful time than right now for us to find people we've been looking for, perhaps for lifetimes, to find those who are energetically in sync with us, who have the same frequency as us. It's like our auric fields can dance through this human journey, and then through technology, find these other ones. And then we start to connect. And then this thing lights up inside of us. It's like what happens in the tapestry behind me. It's like all these colors start to come together, and there's all this movement and flow, and suddenly we're like coming into synchronization in larger and larger groups. And there's just this harmonic. Dr. Zach Bush talks about that too, this harmonic, this way that we weave our stories together. And when that happens, look at the tapestry behind me. Everything just has a flow, a rhythm, and it becomes so beautiful. So in October, when I pulled this card for the collective now, I would have said the energy was more fear-based and projection of anger and judgment at others. When I tune into it now, it feels like an invitation. Like, find your people. Find your people. Send your auric energy out. Send your vibration, your frequency out, and start finding your people, and you'll know who they are. And when you connect with them and then you find each other, and there's this like, it's beyond illusion. It's beyond illusion. So this is the individual now card. Let me see if I can bring it closer for you. Okay, so notice what you notice first. This beautiful woman from New Era, I think that's it, New Era Astrology. She just started switching her card readings. So now instead of seeing her face, you see her hands, and then she holds the cards up, and there's all this detail in the cards. She uses way more cards than I do. So I'm going to give you me and the cards. I really enjoy seeing her, but it's so fun to see the cards close up. And what she said recently, which I loved, is you will find new things in the cards that I don't name because you're looking at this through your lens. And so holding the card allows you access into it in a way that me just describing the card would limit you. Okay, so I'll name what I see. I mean, there's just such vibrance and vitality, and like the word ecstasy, that's what this feels like. My podcast on Friday is called Embodying Ecstasy, and I talk about the podcast that I watched with Aubrey Marcus and Dr. Zach Bush. And he said the magical thing that he would want the world to know about how to come into this health as a humanity would be ecstasy. Finding this sense of overwhelming joy and presence in as many moments as you can throughout the day. And so I talk about it in Friday's podcast if you haven't listened to it yet, Gaia's Love. And this card to me illustrates what ecstasy feels like. It's this internal experience. Like if you notice this person's eyes are closed, they're not looking out to see if anyone's understanding or watching or defining. It's this internal explosion of white lights, yellow, red, oranges for the second chakra, third chakra, the root chakra, mostly the third chakra. I am who I am. I know who I am. I am beyond the illusion that I am just the collective. I am an individual, and I can sit in the magic of who I am. And so this person, this illustration is just sitting there radiating all this light. The image I see is of a butterfly, and you may see something different, but for me it looks like a beautiful butterfly, almost like a phoenix at the bottom coming out of the fire. But the butterfly to me represents the connection, one of the ways that many of us connect with those who have transitioned before us, or how we connect with the infinite. And so the butterfly image to me is like this bridge between this world and other worlds. The butterfly also goes through the chrysalis, right? And emerges as it comes into the chrysalis as a worm, and then it melts, and then it comes out with wings and it can fly. And I feel like so many individuals, God, this music is amazing. If you even see here the number XX, right? 20, the number 20, the nose itching. I feel like I need to keep leaning back because I'm so wanting you to see what I see. I feel like in 2020, so many people have emerged. They've gone into the goo, and quarantine was this like gooey, messy isolation where so many people did their inner work and then started to come out and identify who they are individually and take up a little bit more room and wiggle their wings and start to stretch and try out this spaciousness. And now as we get towards the end of the year, this card is for the next lunar cycle. Where are we right now and where are we moving towards? And I feel like this card is saying, be internal. If you haven't made the time yet to be inside of yourself and to feel what your illusions are and to move beyond them inside of you, to move beyond the ways that you have not wanted to see yourself fully. Be like the butterfly, be so courageous and sit in that cocoon and allow yourself to heal. Because here's what happens. Here's what happens when you are willing individually. This isn't a whole group exercise. This is saying you. When you sit and you close your eyes and you quiet your mind, this white light, which to me always represents source, God, the universe, collective consciousness, one, flow, all, that light of purity comes straight down through the mind. It breaks apart the mind. It slices it down, comes right into the third eye, which is right here between your physical eyes, and it anchors in, it brings in truth, consciousness, awareness. It brings in awareness. It brings in illumination. All of this light just comes straight in from source, pierces through your physical eyes with your eyes closed so that you learn to trust your third eye more. You trust what you see inside. With your eyes closed, you see a whole other landscape, and then you can bring it in. And it comes down. It's like inside your brain now, and it comes down and it's pointing towards the nose, the ears, the mouth. It's going to help you begin to articulate through the throat chakra. The throat chakra is from here to here. All of this. That light comes in, pierces the awareness, wakes you up. And then all that energy starts to move into your throat chakra. You might hear new things. So many people are telling me their ears are ringing. Yeah, that's called raising your frequency. Your frequency is expanding. And so all this energy is like sitting at your ears, which is why music like spores is so powerful. It helps you elevate your ability to hear these sounds, these frequencies of creation in new ways. And so all of this is happening as this light is coming, and at some point you're going to start to express. You're going to want to talk to somebody. You're going to want to say some things. You're going to express what's moving. It's upside down. You're going to express what's moving, and look what happens here. Just look at what happens. It's like, it's hard to see. Maybe it'll be easier there. It's like light, sparkles, orbs, radius, like everything. I don't even know how to explain it to you. I hope you can see in the card. Everything lights up. And then your throat chakra is just emanating like what you are receiving here. It's just moving through you, and it's radiating, and you're connected to the stars, you're connected to source, you're sharing light and energy and frequency, and it's so incredible. It's so incredible. So that's card number 20, Beyond Illusion, for the individual now. The invitation seems to be close your eyes and go inward. Go inward. And If you need guidance, listen to music, listen to East Bars, listen to whoever you feel called towards. Put on music and just allow your mind, your thoughts to follow the movement of the music. It will shift you, it will change you, and you will see things in your third eye. And then it's going to be about, do you trust what you see? Can you move beyond the illusion that someone else has the answers and you don't? Can you begin to believe what you see in your third eye? And then magic. The highest possibilities for the next lunar cycle. Ordinariness. It feels really important to put these two cards side by side. So if this is the individual now, that you're moving beyond illusion, and the highest possibilities are ordinariness, what I would get from that is, this is how you're going to be more and more of the time. This ecstatic state of connection to everything moves into your everyday activities. So when you're walking outside, when you're picking flowers or vegetables, when you go to Kroger's, if you don't have Kroger's, it's our local grocery store, and I spend a lot of time there, a lot of money there at Kroger's. So when you're walking through Kroger's with your little cart or your little basket, you're just as connected as you were here. You're just radiating light, joy, understanding of who you are. You're sending these little bubbles of orbs. In fact, can you even see? See if you can see it from here. So here it's all these little stars and lights and orbs, because this person is what we would say out there in the universe, having this transcendental experience out there. But look here, it's all pink flowers. It's the same image, almost exactly the same layout of the cards. Isn't that so beautiful? Except it's trees showering their little orbs of flowers all over the person. And here the person's eyes are closed and they see themselves in between these two states as a butterfly. Here you're just in the human body with your feet on the ground, walking the path. But it's the same experience. Friday's podcast, that's all I really talked about, is many of us have these moments of transcendental oneness with the universe, and then we don't integrate them. We don't know what to do with them. We want more of them, and it's almost like it becomes an addiction, because you want to go out there to have this experience in whatever way that addiction shows up. Ordinariness is, I feel this ecstasy all the time. Whether I'm sitting here making a video for you, whether I'm sitting in my meditation, whether I'm walking outside with Star, whether I'm sitting on the couch with my husband, if I'm cooking a meal, more and more and more of the time, my ordinary life, I feel this magic moving in and through me. That's the highest possibility for the next lunar cycle. I say, hell yeah. More ordinariness, please, when it's connected to that card. Yeah. Okay. I always get started thinking, oh, this won't be that long. And then I start talking. I'm like, oh, we're just going to hang out for a while because I'm having so much fun, which must mean you're having so much fun too. Okay, let's get, oh, and whoever's talking about me, my nose is like itching. Drink more water would be my advice to everyone right now. Drink more water. We are buzzing energy so high vibrationally, every one of us, and it takes water to like hydrate all of that energy and make sure that you can sustain it for longer and longer periods of time. Okay, we're going to get some wisdom from our guides. Oh, I didn't show you the deck. This is the Lightseers deck. I'm so excited, by the way. My friend Deborah James over in Australia just created her own deck, and I ordered a set that is special delivery coming to me in the next, I don't know, hopefully the next few days. So in January, when I do a card reading, it's going to include Deborah's card. Whoops. That's so funny. I never drop cards because I shuffle so carefully. The Hanged Man. That is so funny. Card number 12 for December. Okay, I'm going to do one more card just because I feel like that. I know that's what our guides want us to know, but I feel like I want to have some say in this too. So we're going to just pull one more card here. I'm going to pull this one that's kind of sticking out. Temperance. Yeah. I don't know these cards as well as other people, so I'm just going to tell you what I feel, and then I might read a little bit. Okay, wisdom from our guides. Isn't that so sweet? They're like, oh, look at you, like twisting yourself in knots, trying to figure it all out, trying to bend around and move around, like stuck up in the air, trying to hold your feet and play in the water. Look at you in December. Isn't that just so much work? And also, look at the magic of this card. Even in our craziness, even in our ways where we have like gone into it this year and like tried to figure everything out and twisted ourselves around, look at the light just waiting. Like, look at all this light just radiating right. Even this is what it feels like to me. If she was standing up, like in this card, the light would be above the head. But because she's twisted herself upside down, the light followed where her head went. And so it's like, okay, we'll come down here. We'll be right by the water with you. You want us to just do the work from upside down? Okay, we'll do that. Isn't it amazing? It also feels like she's so flexible and strong, and she's just flowing and playing and then seeing what happens. You know, I don't get the sense she's anxious, you know, and maybe it's because all the light is around her, but even hanging upside down, I don't get the sense she's like, the world's falling apart. So maybe we can practice that for ourselves. Like, even when it feels like we're hanging upside down, can we just breathe through it, put our hand in the water, play with the water, look at the light, stretch ourselves, do a couple extra, you know, yoga positions. Like, there's a woman who I went to high school with, and she has an account on Instagram that I follow. And she always posts these videos where she's in, I don't know what you call them, but these like yoga slings or something that hang from the ceiling with ropes and chains. And she does all these amazing like twirls and positions. And that's what this card kind of reminds me of. It's like, oh, I decided to put myself in this position. I thought this would be kind of fun. So I'm just going to play in the water while I'm holding this pose. You know, maybe what our guides are reminding us of in this card is, you know, nothing is by chance. I just don't believe that. We come here to this earthly plane knowing all the options of everything that could be going on while we're in a human journey. And then we co-create. And so my desires bump up against somebody else's desires, my creations, my limitations bump up against other people's, and then, you know, we're in this co-creative soup like she's got here. And so are we really, like, who's holding this? You know, is someone putting her into this position to create all this for her, or did she choose to get into this harness and have this experience? And I really believe, you know, all of us choose the human journey that we're going to take. And so the Hanged Man, we even choose that. So relax into it and then focus to see what's coming next, because that's card number 12. Our guide skipped card number 13 and brought us to card number 14. 14 is Temperance. Hang on. I thought it was going to play it over there for me on my speaker, and it decided not to, so I'll do it over there. Temperance. Yeah, can you see it's hard to tell. Is he the angel, or does he have an angel behind him? To me, it looks like he has an angel behind him. And then it looks almost like he's got the moon and the sun in either hand. And actually, it looks like this sling changed color, and now he's sitting on it. What if this would be wild. What if he's the angel that's like holding this for her so she can reach the water upside down, because that would be kind of cool and she's never done that before. Isn't that a great idea? So he's like, here, I'll just move the sun and the moon around a little bit for you, and you go ahead and hang for a while, okay? But you play in the water while you're doing that. Oh, you want the sun behind your head? Okay, that's where we'll move it. Where do you want the moon? Can you imagine what a fun conversation that would be if we could remember that he's up there going, now what do you want? Where should I move things? Oh, you want to be put down in the water so you can swim with the dolphins? Okay, sure. Can you imagine if you could hear the soul level dialogue that was happening between them? Instead, it's like, this is what we think. I'm out here by myself and nobody knows what's happening. I'm suffering all alone, hanging out here trying to figure out what to do. So our guides send us this little video with Viv, and they say, don't forget, there's an angel who's right there above you. Tell the angel what you would like to do, and then see what happens. Enough said. Okay, one more card from the, isn't it funny how I have to do all the cards? Like I can't just do one deck. Now that I have these awesome decks, I'm like, you got to get all the decks. You got to have this one and this one and this one. Pretty soon when I have Deborah's deck, you're going to get 4 cards, 4 different decks. Okay, this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Do you see how they each have a different energy? And so each deck is going to bring a different view or a different feeling, a different vibration. Or within you, you have all these different aspects of yourself. And so each deck kind of brings out a different aspect that you can play with me in this video, which is so fun. All right, this is wisdom from our guides. Wisdom from our guides. What should we do? We're going to do top of the deck, bottom of the deck. Top of the deck, bottom of the deck. So our guides are telling us the easiest way to get through the next lunar cycle and the hardest way to get through the next lunar cycle. We're going to shuffle it 2 more times. Okay. The easiest way to get through the next lunar cycle. The Earth Keeper. These I'm going to have to read to you. I don't know these very well. And the hardest way, soul retrieval. Oh my God, that's hysterical. That's just funny. That's just funny. You know, I said this last time and I'll say it again. I mostly do these videos for myself because my guides are like, we're going to mess with you. We're going to show you some stuff, but we're going to make you do it on video. So there's like no controlling your response. You're just going to have to roll with it. And then I'm inside going, oh, shit. That's what happens. But it's so addictive. It's so fun for me because they play with me with such joy and sassiness that like, I just want more. I want them to play more, you know? All right, friends. Here it is from our guide. This is the, isn't that the most beautiful card? Can you see her face? I'm sure you can, but right here. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to try. Hang on. I'm going to try before I give you what they say. Let me give you my interpretation. Okay, this is wisdom from our guides about the next lunar cycle. So it's card 18. So the first thing I would say is 18, if you add it, 1 and an 8 would be a 9. So this feels like the highest possibility is a completion, which makes sense because we're completing 2020 and stepping into 2021. And so the highest possibility is complete this year. Complete what it is that you need to complete before you turn the calendar page. So whatever that means to you, whatever comes up in you as I say that, complete it. Like do your journaling, have the conversations, wrap up the things that feel unwrapped, and then leave 2020 behind you as this incredible gift that it was, wrapped up in a box, put right here into your journey of your soul of who you are in this human lifetime. This was year 2020, and now we're in 2021. Something totally new can open up. And look, it's like she has one arm, her right arm, like stretched out, and it feels like the same image as this. You know, the individual now. It's like you're doing this by yourself. You're this butterfly by yourself. And I feel like she, Earth, because this is about the Earth keepers, it's like Earth is saying, see, even here, the planet, like, come inside now. Come inside and let's get to know each other. Let's see. What do you want to do in 2021? Like, do you even feel this? It's like, I feel like that's what she's saying. This beautiful being, look how gorgeous she is. All of her colors and I mean, there's so much geometry and stuff happening inside of her. And she's like, yeah, come here inside my wing. Let's get to know each other and let's see what we can do in 2021. Like, wow. Isn't that amazing? And there's no rush. That was 2020. That rushing around thing, stop, start, quarantine, running, that was 2020. This is 2021. What do you want to do? What do you want to create? Who do you want to be? How do you want to live in this energy field that we call Gaia Earth? Like, what do you choose? Can you see how it's all open and she'll just bring you in under her wing? Under her wing, like, what? This was so much better than me reading the description. Like, oh, she's stunningly beautiful and she wants you to come and hang out under her wing. Like, why would you say no to that? Yeah. So that's the highest possibility. I'm not even going to read to you from the book. You want to read from the book, you buy your own deck. That's the way that these companies, these organizations, these beautiful creators will make money. Buy your own copy and then you can read it. But for now, you got to hear about it through my lens. Soul retrieval, like, are you serious? You need to watch well, you don't have to do anything, but if you want, you can watch the end of the last video I did for November. I had a whole judgment about soul retrieval. So I feel like my guides are saying, yeah, you know, maybe she has something to say about number 49 still, the soul retrieval card. What would I say? I guess this is what I would say as I hold my crystal, as I say it really clearly. If you believe that you have lost part of your soul and you have to go find it and you have to like find some magical place or guru or thing that's going to help you find your soul so that you can become whole again, this journey is going to be really difficult for you. This next month is going to be difficult for you. And as you wrap up 2020, it's going to feel like a struggle because you believe there's something missing. There's something not right or not full or not complete about you. If you remember last month, I talked about, like, you can see, she looks almost like a bee and she's like trying to figure this thing out. And there's all this back here. And I said, it's like remembering. As you start to remember who you are, all of the parts of you take on more wholeness, more form, and they become more tangible. It could also be the opposite, like she's dissolving. She's dissolving because she doesn't believe she's whole. In comparison to this one, who looks inside and beyond all illusion knows that she is incredible exactly as she is. Absolutely radiantly connected to source, to everything, to all. This is age of Aquarius, right? We are one with everything. Where this says, there's something missing. I gotta go find it. I'm lost. I'm lost. What am I gonna do? eventually you'll find your way, and eventually you'll find teachers and guides and people who will help you, and it'll all, if you choose to, you'll find your way and it'll be great. But it's way different. Highest possibility, lowest possibility. Is that lowest? Oh, well, this is what the guide said. This isn't me. The guides through me said highest possibility, lowest possibility. So apparently for the next lunar month, these are the two options. This one says, come sit under my wing and let me tell you a story, and you tell me your story, and we'll get to know each other. She's not needing anything from you. She's not telling you you're broken or missing. She's like, just come hang out. Let's see what's going on. Let's connect. I feel like this card, this is like the extrapolation, the bigger energy. I don't know if that's the right word, but here's Gaia, Earth, and then here's who she is if she were to show herself to you as a consciousness. Here she is in the human understanding, the 3D reality, a round ball that's blue that floats in space, that has images that look like this, that represent continents. But if you were to tap into the complexity, the beauty, the soul of this planet, she's this multi-dimensional, gorgeous goddess, radiant being who is constantly saying to you, to all of us as humans, can we connect? Do you want to come hang out here under my wing? Which I would take to mean, do you want to be in the womb of Gaia, the incubator of Gaia? Do you want to get to know who I am as an energy? Because I look more like this when I do this. If you were to see me, the soul, I would look more like that than I would this. That's more me, except more purples. Way more purples. Like I'm more up there, those purples and those whites. That's what I look like, not this. And when you see Earth and you think this is all she is, you're missing the picture. And when you think that in order to interact with Earth, it's this hard physical thing, and you got to try and define your multidimensionality by connecting with this hard 3D matter, you're missing this intimacy, this radiant consciousness that could show you another whole way of being alive as a human here on this planet. It's not just this. So yeah. It's the music. I feel like I can get through it and be grounded and steady. And then East Forest plays and I look at Gaia and I'm like, oh. I will also say, and I've said this many times in videos and meditations and all the things that I create, when you see someone and they know that you see them, you become more. This behind me, just one example of how my friend Lisa sees me and honors me. That's just one of the incredible people I have in my life who constantly reflect to me, who find me. Somehow they find me. Their auric field goes ahead and says, where are you? I've been looking for you. Where are you? And we find each other and we see each other. And Joe Dispenza talks about this in the video that I referenced in Friday's podcast. And he says, when you're coherent with your own heart inside of you, and you emanate this frequency out into the world, and those who have a matching heart coherence come together, and we all, just like the flow, like how I started this meditation. East Bars, they're slaying me today. When we start this movement and we come into synchronization and we unmesh and we start to move through this human dance together, it moves from ecstatic moments of transcendental bliss to just how we're living our lives. Like, I sit here and I make a meditation and I feel all the love. And it's here, it's right here, it's with me. It's not somewhere out there. It's not something I have to go seek and find. It's here in my cards and the messages. It's here in my tea that was made with love. It's everywhere. It's in all the things that I surround myself with in my office. We create a reality that is constantly reconnecting us, synchronizing us back to that flow state, to that movement of energy, and everything in our environment becomes one whole, but we're the ones creating it. It's not out there, it's right in here. So as we move towards the end of 2020, do your work, do your completions, look at the things that need to be looked at so that you can go inward, right? You can go inward. And then you just embody it all the time. And if you sit in that space, I'm being like Santera now with moving my cards around. If you sit in this space and you're like right here, wondering, am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? What am I actually seeing? Remember this. This is what you believe to be true. You're hanging in the middle of nowhere with nobody helping you out. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. You are so held, so supported, so loved, so guided. Just say what you need. Ask for what you need. Look up. Look up. And then choose to go under that wing and get to know the consciousness of Gaia. All right, I'm going to put some of this music onto a playlist and create a meditation, a 25-minute meditation for the new moon in Sagittarius tomorrow. And I will put the link to that in the description, along with the link to this music and the link to the cards, in case you want to buy the cards. And then I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to take a couple weeks and play and cuddle and laugh and complete this amazing year with reverence. I will have 2 meditation calls, one on the 30th of December, where I will guide all of us who gather through a 1-hour completion. I'm calling it 2020 integration, because it's not so much about judging 2020, it's about bringing it in and letting go of whatever is complete and bringing the energy and the magic and all the goodness like in, integrating it. And then a few days later, on Saturday, January 2nd, I'm doing a guided meditation visualization that is called Into 2021 Flow. This, all this energy behind me, we're going to visualize and create an idea, a movement, a flow for 2021. And each of us will be doing it individually. I just guide the group with whatever is coming through me energetically. And then we're in 2021 and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So I will meet you back here if you are watching these videos on a regular basis. I will meet you back here January something when we have the new moon. Yeah, last new moon in Aquarius. I wrote and published a book called Just White Light that talks about this, what I know about this. So maybe you'll be ready for that in January 2021. You have to see. All right, I've hung out long enough. Have an absolutely beautiful holiday season. I send you into the rest of 2020 with huge, huge love.